If you're a heating, air conditioning technician, or even a salesperson, what do you need to know about getting to the table in the world of sales, and why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Silverbaum. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. So you may have gone through the entire process of getting somebody to the table and selling them a system, and you've done the right thing. You did the right thing for them. You're like, now what? The job's installed. Well, this is video number 12, bonus number 2. At the end of the day, the thing that's going to separate you from everybody else is going back to the install. And here's what I highly encourage. I highly encourage you to set a date when you make that sale. Look, the job's going to go in on the 1st, and it's going to be a 2-day job, so it'll be done on the 2nd. Let me come by on the 5th. Let's schedule a time for me to come by on the 5th. And I'll tell you what, when I managed 22 salespeople, one of the biggest complaints that I got was, your sales dude, your sales chick came out and they sold me something. They made it feel like they cared about me. They built rapport. They talked about all the cool things. And at the end of the day, I never saw them again. So it was a huge clue for me, right? So anytime that anybody buys anything from me, there's a return visit, whether it's physical or whether it's a Zoom call or whether it's a phone call, but there's always that afterwards check-in. How did everything go? How's your team? How did everything work out? Are you happy? Now, here's what you're going to find. This reduces complaints. Your complaints go down. Your customer or client satisfaction goes up, right? Because now they can't say, hey, you didn't check in. And, here's the other thing. There was times where I'd go back and I'd look at the job and the installers messed something up. And I would do this in front of the homeowners. Hey, there's a couple things I'd like. It's not going to affect functionality, but I would like the installers to come back and fix something when it needed to be done. And they would say, aren't you mad? I'm like, no, that's one of the reasons I come back and do a job walk, right? I want to make sure that what I promised you is what you got. You spent your hard-earned money with me. I want to come back. I want to take a look at this job. And here's the thing. There's dudes, chicks, bros, babes in the industry that will not do this, right? I could preach this till I'm blue in the face. Like, hey, go back to your jobs. Go talk to your homeowner. And they'll say, I don't want to do it. Why? Because I might miss an opportunity. No, you're not. If you go back and talk to the people that you meet with, I promise you they're going to be happy. And this is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not on the YouTube channel. You may not know this. My grandfather was a dentist, and my grandfather did very well as a dentist. But if he did work on your teeth during the day, at the end of the day, he would call every person that he worked on. How's your crown? How's your filling? How was your cleaning? How did everything go? How were my chairside assistants? How was my front office? And he would spend an hour and a half, 2 hours every night calling everybody that he met with. And there was no Yelp back then. There was no Google reviews back then, but everybody ranted and raved about my grandfather, and he was not cheap. My grandfather was the most expensive dentist in town. And, people ranted and raved about him because he cared and because he checked in on people. I learned this from my grandfather, Dr. Bell, right? If you're going to be good at what you do, go back and talk to your clients. Go have that conversation. And if something's wrong, get it fixed, because here's what's going to happen. Let's say it's the beginning of March, right? It's the beginning of spring, and you have a system that goes in, and you notice that your install team didn't do the drain lines right. You're saving them a huge trip to come back in April, May, or June, or July when it's super hot and the roof caves in, right? A lot of systems in Sacramento are in the attic. Or the gas line's not done right, or the exhaust flue's not done right, or the UV light wasn't installed. You go down the path of everything, hey, let's do a checklist to make sure that everything you got, everything you paid for is what we've given you. And this may sound super basic. Go back to your jobs. Scott, I don't want to go back to my jobs. I can't think of a good reason why you wouldn't want to go back. You can't give me one really good reason why you wouldn't go back. Hey, it's a long drive. Listen to a book, right? Have your own learning management system, but know that you going back and scheduling it when you make that sale makes all the difference in the world. That is your role and responsibility. I stand by this statement 100%. You got one of 3 things to do from here, just one of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend by tagging them or sending it to them. Just want to let you know that I appreciate you. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.